Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thursday means it's time for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I hope you're having a fabulous day and are excited that it's almost the end of the week. We're gonna, eggs Benedict. He does murder. It'll kill you. Don't eat it for breakfast. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, look at all those emotes. Look at them. I have follower emotes now, so there's a whole mess of them that you can use.
Good shit. Oh man, I'm excited.
Heck yes.
Shasta, did you catch up? Were you able to watch the VOD at any point?
No.
Great.
Huh.
Well,
Perfect.
I saw the end of the last stream.
Good enough.
It's okay, we spent
17th
an
of
hour on
April.
a question anyway.
It's
We
true.
really didn't get very far.
The 17th of April, 12:41 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Gina, how are you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now.
Oh. Ginny! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything?
What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me?
What?
Well, you saw it. That picture. What picture?
You mean this? A photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder. I didn't think he would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure.
Don't worry about it, Em.
Oh fuck, I am.
Don't worry about it. It's hopeless. Anyone who
Well, I think
sees
sometimes
that...
you gotta lean into Gina's voice harder.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I just start. I can't lean
That's
in
so valid.
right out of the gate.
I tried my hand at Cockney for the first time with KC, and I was like, nah, I can't do this. So I'm really trying here with these characters more when I have the chance. But I don't blame you at all.
Oh no, the British person's in the chat.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the implication.
It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they? Oh, man, it's getting worse now that you pointed it out. Well,
This whole stream is us doing bad accents, so like I wouldn't feel bad about it. Like it's just it's part of the comedy.
part of the charm. Well, I won't pretend that wasn't a bit of shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely you gotta have your doubts about me now. Can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can.
I can ignore any evidence you throw at me.
She's so cute. Jenny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still. Really like to hear it from you.
Alright then.
Alright, getting that dump.
It was after we had that dinner together at your place, alright, Iris? And we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. Hi, Izzy. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 211 to Winterbank's place. I had to know if Iris's story
Thank you,
was there or
Shasta.
not. The Hounds of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what you don't want people reading. So that's why I lied to Iris about sticking it in lug with Winterbank for safekeeping.
Sticking it in lug.
At least, that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Winterbank's. I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was gonna kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you'd like in there. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when...
What do you think you're doing?
I nearly died, I did. Next thing I knew. I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what.
You're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery.
The mantle script. Have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story.
I beg your pardon.
Hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it.
Sorry, young lady. But I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers.
I don't want it.
Wah wah.
What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see if it's here, that's all.
Oh, you want to see it, do you?
I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go.
Oh, very well then. For pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you?
So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. It was there alright, the mantle script. Sholmes weren't lying after all.
Did all just to check for me, Ginny.
Anyway, there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes. What was that noise? Someone was breaking in.
Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight I don't know about?
I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry.
I'd better go and take care of it. Could I have my gun back?
Oh, well, I'll come with you. And...
Now don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances.
And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a big of a scrap. Started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself when... Bang, bang. I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at me feet, lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it, quick as you like.
There we go.
Because you thought whoever shot Mr. Winterbank might come for you. Yeah. So I went and grabbed the old cove's gun. Figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winterbank was a goner. I felt funny in me head all of a sudden. Kinda dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing. That must have been when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did! They didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me.
It'll be all right, Ginny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill!
That cove what was there in the afternoon? That egg at Benedict? Still remember how he looked at me.
That smug motherfucker.
Like I was nothing.
Oh.
He was there that night. We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what?
Bruno's capable hands now, Ginny.
I fully forgot his name was Eggert, and I thought the title was a Benedict Cumberbatch reference!
Understandable.
Understandable. I did specifically say eggs Benedicts. to make it a little obtuse. Mr. Naruto. Yes? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGill did. We told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him, even though he was a killer. No, I could never forget that. Oh. I did what I thought was best at the time, but the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another kill off the hook for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. You what? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it.
Oh, Bruno. Good news, Em. We're gonna do another... This game has a part 2.
But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Fuckers.
You might call him my BF.
Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me and I'll do the rest.
Listen, Em, the southern accent had to come from somewhere, and it was England.
Yeah, they're actually historically very, very closely related. There's actually some really interesting linguistic threads there.
I was so happy I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me I couldn't help thinking. Surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong.
Look at that hot piece of ass.
As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. Since then I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I will keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. Even though I'm a diver and a no good liar. You're not like McGilded, I know that.
That's right! You're our friend, Ginny!
Iris? We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust.
Yes!
That's really all we need to know.
Exactly.
Mr. Naraodo, I Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. Didn't seem like anyone was gonna step in to try, so...
It's just, it feels...
You've also been doing it recently.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I feel like you did as best of an impression that any of us could have.
We're gonna have to practice this.
Fair
Right.
enough.
I
I've been
need to go
both...
like listen to Alex's VODs doing Larry's voice and like try to shape my fucking vocal cords that way.
Oh, man. I'd been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time. So I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. The final chapter. The final battle. Wish me luck, Susata-san. And I hope
Good
you're
luck.
watching over me too. Partner.
You got this. And don't look in the crowd. Don't watch for me because I'm definitely not there.
He's there! Fucking Phantom of the Opera style.
'Cause
He
I'm
falls in from a chandelier.
He's got a
There's
half
one
mask.
singular balcony seating, and that's him.
Yeah!
Ha!
Half mask, balcony seat. He's there. The Phantom of the courtroom. It's 1:41 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom.
The Phantom of the Old Bailey, then.
The
Oh,
Phantom.
these fuckers are still here.
Yeah,
Okay.
the jury.
Oh, but there's a space. There's a space. They're gonna put him in
space.
between them.
Anchored in there. Oh, Jesus.
I
Fucking
hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Jane Lestrade.
Either that or it's just fucking Gregson.
Lord Van Zinks, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
Okay.
Gregson doesn't want to stand next to him.
Right. The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. Is it pronounced differently in British?
What?
What,
Subpoena?
subpoena? I don't think so.
Is it just...
I
oh,
think
What
it's
do
just
what would it
subpoena. I
be,
think it's
subpoena?
I think it's just
Is it-
spelled
yeah.
differently.
Okay.
Like most things.
I think it's actually spelled the same. Anyway.
I think it is the same.
Is
Yeah,
it? Okay.
However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage.
The arrival.
The arrival.
The arrival.
Yeah, we all do. We all do, Anne.
We all fancy this
Mm,
fucking
I
racist
see.
asshole.
Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's preface of the case heard by the court this morning. If that's the incorrect saying, I refuse to do anything else. Glaring omission of this third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Serious, huge blunder. Big blunder.
Fucking huge blunder.
The blunderiest
Yes,
of blunders.
I can only apologize, my lord. Van Deeks.
Oh, man.
And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument,
It's pretty good.
I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
Do you need some water? Sir Judge. Lord
No,
Judge.
I need a new set of lungs.
He's got a cold.
It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A very big mistake.
The only vein I'd ever get into!
Oh my god.
Christ.
Is he?
I respect it. That was well done.
God.
Whoa. Woo.
My lord!
My lord. The subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building.
Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Mr. Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon.
Edgar Benedict.
It's certainly not like this.
Dick is on the mind. Okay.
Man. Oh my god, we're
M thirsty movement part 2.
Oh my god,
Thank you for
four of us.
complying with the court subpoena at such short notice,
Oh my god.
But of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Oh god.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
I swear to fuck, if you call yourself Eggert Benedict, I'm gonna throw you into the
I want Gregson to
sun.
just... I want him to just, like, body slam him to the floor.
He calls himself another, like, food, beans on toast or some British thing.
My name is
Name
Toast
is
Toast Toast.
Ben.
Beans
Ben.
and toasty.
No, Ben Santost.
Yeah, that would be it.
Ben Santos.
Oh
Oh,
my
okay, no, we're just gonna get it.
god.
Ashley Graydon, communications officer.
Well, that's AG,
How
that's
did
it, yeah.
How did you get Eggert Benedict? It was just his breakfast.
It was his, absolutely his breakfast.
I said I did know this guy's name, and I've known it since almost the beginning, but only because I've heard my friends talk about, like, how much, like, I want this twink destroyed. But I've seen his name only in that context, so I've known his name was Ashley since the start, and I was like, oh, of course this fucker's name is Ashley.
Oh man, calls himself
Oh.
Fish and Chips. Yes, oh my god.
Fish.
Fish. My name is Fish. Fish Chips.
These, yeah, these cheaps. Middle name,
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London's Central Communication Station.
Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about.
Changing my last name to Santos and naming my son Ben.
a worthy sacrifice.
A worthy. God, do it for the bit.
You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume.
Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question.
That is the accusation, indeed.
This really is beyond a joke, you know.
Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon.
Anyone
Tomato,
else?
anchovy, and Caesar salad.
One of those is really phoning it in.
Maybe it was pronounced Caesar salad.
Put an accent in there.
Cesar salad.
I meant the second one. Not Caesar.
Both. Both. Why
You
did
guessed both.
¿Por qué no los dos?
God.
There isn't a swan.
God, chat's feral tonight. It's big feral energy.
It's the combination of M, Izzy, and Nat.
God damn.
You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Gladly, my lord. Gladly.
This could be such a silly stream.
Got
Oh,
those
boy.
moves.
Oh God.
That's what you're horny for. Look at it and weep.
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of a pawn. Oh God, I'm doing this. Pawn-broking services from time to time.
Sounded like at first you said, actually, I make use of porn.
But I was trying to say, and then I'm like, I went to I couldn't figure out whether to say it right or wrong, and I just went for wrong.
Yeah, I get
But are
you.
you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into a place on the night of the murder?
Oh, thank you for the stretch.
Into the place on the night of the murder.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm stretching too.
Oh, everybody stretch.
I have no intention of admitting such an outrageous accusation.
Okay.
Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouche
Scaramouche?
Scaramouche.
Some Scaramouche detective's homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Serious evidence. Gotta find this guy's voice again.
It's fine.
Sex
Oh.
do.
How sexy.
You. Damn it. Why did Sexu break me? Why is that what got me?
So, you deny the accusation completely, do you?
Of course. I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy.
Ah, I see.
It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld.
Still have your
Then it
fucking
would seem
cloak
we have the
taker.
misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
I mean, that's quite something. Most of them have done this twice now.
But
A lot of experience.
How long am I expected to be detained here?
If, following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately.
Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least.
Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination.
This cross-examination's gonna take 5 hours.
Right?
Oh, well, that's
Did last time.
Unfortunate.
So, we meet again, Mr. Eggert Benedict.
And for the last time.
Or is it Mr. Graydon?
My apologies. You are...
Rinosuke Norohodo, defense lawyer. We have met.
If you say so, Ashley Graydon. Enchanté.
Disgusting.
So,
Bless you.
His hand is like over Gregson's jacket.
Ah!
I trust we can conclude this quickly.
I'm not giving this back. But I am not holding your flashy hat while we do. I'm gonna throw it on the floor. Put it on the floor. Put it on the ground.
Put it on Von Zeeks.
Stomp on it.
Jump on in.
Put it on,
Put it on Iris.
Put it on Ringo. Make him taller.
Look at Ringo. Look at Ringo.
God, he is a pompous cunt. You're right.
Naturally. God. What a guy.
Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Eggert Benedict, I believe. Tell me, what made you...
The witness is here to testify about events that took place last night. Oh, sorry, that night. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions.
Unrelated? You can't be serious.
Thank you. Because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question.
Donut.
Looks hotter without the hat.
He looks more like a fop.
He
So
looks
he's
more
going
like
to
the
be
person that
evasive.
people would write
is
fan
he?
fiction about getting pegged.
Yeah.
Yeah. In an effort not to give anything away, this could be tricky. Fucking liar. Yeah? Yeah. Have you seen these two men before?
This pair? No, I don't associate with criminals.
It looks so...
Said by a man who introduced himself as Eggert Benedict.
I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me?
The young lawyer there in the black.
This is a farce!
You're a
He would say
farce.
against, right? He would say
Yes.
against.
Against.
I was just thinking...
Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway?
God, you're such a fucking racist.
Well, needless to say...
I'm gonna fucking slap your stupid face.
Hold it!
Where were you around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir?
That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions.
I feel like you were.
That seems like a weird thing to say without prompting.
Yeah. You're able to prove that.
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend. For you appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point.
The Japanese version of his fake name is straight up Egg Benedict.
Good. Good. I'm glad they committed to that.
Oh man. Egg.
Egg.
Egg. What do you mean?
A delicious egg.
The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime.
Egg Benedict.
He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene,
We have to provide the proof.
the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion.
No, so this man gets innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
he's not
not
on
the
trial.
accused.
Yeah. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness.
I started asking him about his breakfast habits, just for fun.
A silent
That's it!
victory wiggle. Thanks. This man is a worm, and not the good kind. Okay, let's Oh, so the bullet, Mr. Windibank fired a bullet, and that bullet hit him, hit Graydon.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why the bullet's in the, okay, yep. I was trying to
So
figure out,
we gotta, yeah.
Windibank hit him, he hit Windibank, Skulkin hit Herlock.
Yes.
Okay.
Take off your shirt. Show us.
Turn
It is
around!
such a weird thing to say without prompting. This guy said a lot of really suspicious things just out of the blue.
Mm-hmm. This man is just
It seems like he was prepped on this because he has said a lot of things that he shouldn't.
he was
Ex-
explicitly informed of what the trial proceedings were on his way here.
mm-hmm.
But he is being super weird about the things he's saying, regardless of his knowledge of the case.
Yes.
Hold it!
Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such.
But I'm not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure the blood is mine?
Can we cut open your hand?
It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants.
Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate different blood samples by...
Spare me the science lesson. Who is the Sholmes character anyway?
Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a renowned detective.
So even you are unable to bring yourself to say, great detective.
He has his moments.
As a great detective? A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we?
He's got something to say.
What you got to say about that?
Excuse me.
Nash?
He's read the books and loves them.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? What? Me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you.
Right, I'm headed up to here with this. How many times do I gotta tell you?
You're not next to him!
Yes, I know, you're not Big Bruv Skulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Eh? Well, blimey, Governor, you what?
Is it not the case that... You what?
What?
Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court?
Eh? My thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him.
You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin. Answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke?
Nothing, honest, Gov, nothing. I was just thinking, if we waves our arms around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all. If he waves his arms around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all.
My fucking god, Tom!
Fuck! Yes! Tom!
You fucking
You
dumbass. You beautiful
fool.
dumbass.
You fucking fool, Nash!
Incredible.
What wound?
Where he took a bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worrying for him. And... Oh! Ells bells!
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck! Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? Yeah, there he is, holding
What?
his arm.
What?
God.
Switch between two very, very different
so
accents.
Good. Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about.
Can we see your arm?
Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations.
That bitch just said you took a bullet to your arm 2 days ago. That feels relevant. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand as if in pain.
No, I refuse.
Very suspicious of you, sir.
Yeah.
You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I'm not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy.
I would say these
Privacy.
thieves are quite uncommon.
Privacy, yes.
Privacy. Privacy? Privacy.
Privacy, definitely privacy.
As I've already said, I've been completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the prawn brokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever.
Well, that's a fucking bold
That's a
lie.
better
Yeah,
face
directly to
That's
your
a
right.
bold lie.
You wanna add that to your testimony, buddy?
I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
Hey, Gregson, do you remember seeing this stupid fucker in the pawnbrokery?
Remember arresting a stupid fucker?
You claim to have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Winterbake's pawnbrokery.
My lord, the defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony.
Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon. You dumb fuck.
Ugh.
Just a whole cast
Fuck.
of buffoons.
The bottom line is, I've never had anything to do with the prawn brokery establishment where this man was killed.
Hold it!
Never had anything to do with it. You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the very afternoon of the incident.
Obviously, I'm not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokeries. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
Objection!
No, you were there to redeem it in an article.
Is that right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There we go, Gregson.
There he is.
There's our
Thank you,
boy. Do you have something to add, Inspector? Munch, munch, munch.
Eh? Come again, sunshine.
You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? that afternoon.
Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself in the pawnbrokers that afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, and the accused were all present, as I recall.
And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article.
Well now. Oh shit.
He can't talk about it.
I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly.
You fucker.
Oh shit.
Because he can't talk about it because it's about the McGilded case and it's all being kept
Yeah.
hush-hush.
Yeah.
What? But you must.
I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember something I don't.
No, but you're going to lie and pretend that you don't remember.
Yeah, this man is representative of you, M. He eats just like, yep. Mhm.
This is M. M's in the game.
Yeah.
As Tobias
That's what you
Gregson.
look like.
Spitting image. What's going on here?
Grexy showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that Hurley installed in Winterbanks.
Yes, of course.
Indeed, the gentleman pictured bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say.
Wearing the exact same clothes, Judge. Exactly
Like I said, a
the
striking
same.
resemblance.
Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was in the shop on the afternoon in question.
At no point have I denied that fact.
Yes, you did!
I merely entered the shop to peruse the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more.
Gregson, I'm gonna fucking rip your snack right out of your hands and throw it on the floor. I'm gonna cut a hole in your snack pocket. This makes no
I'm gonna
sense.
fill your snack pocket with vinegar.
He'd probably like it.
I mean, it wouldn't.
They just pour vinegar in this man's coat pocket. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. No, but why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? That's all he's going to say on the matter, is it?
What do you think, Bruno? Ooh, wrong.
Oh, I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away.
I'm not even gonna. Nope. The complete opposite of Hurley, then. He seems to think that the more he says, the better.
God. Well, at
Oh
least
my
I
god.
managed to prise a little more information from these witnesses' lips. All thanks to the Skulkin brothers.
Yes, they were the key to it, after all.
So he says he has nothing to do with Winterbanks. Well, we know that's not true.
Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record.
Good idea. You never know what scrap of information could become a valuable weapon.
So I think we just got to present something on that
Coat
last statement. Right?
pocket. Emily Shark.
I think the presence of Grace Graydon and Zeke's is clouding M's hearing.
Yeah, I think I said snack pocket too. I didn't like none of those are the same sound. Like
Snack.
those
Coat.
two words share. No, I was saying snack and cum share no sounds. None.
Well, snack.
I mean, I guess.
They share one sound.
They sound one sound. Oh god. Horrifying. Oh god, Levi. That one's gonna live forever.
Yeah, that one we're gonna get back to that one in like 2 months, and no one's gonna have any idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna time you out. I'm gonna fucking time you out. Jesus. Shasta! Knock it off.
Stream.
All of you.
Christ.
All of you, knock it off.
Horrifying.
God damn.
It
Alright.
just keeps getting worse.
It's just terrible. So we have our armband.
I think that's the correct.
We have the redemption ticket for the box. Gina's representation pictures. We have the blood sample portfolio.
Can we look at the ticket again?
Which, the box ticket?
Yeah.
I think the problem was like the thing. Well, okay. Hold on.
Mr. Winterbank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still. Perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had on hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now.
Okay, I just wanted to see if there's anything like on that would help us.
So that's the box.
Yeah, then the one it's 2 over.
Yeah, this is the one for the coat that's got Mason's blood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Winterbank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. Okay, so it's the exact same. Yeah. Exact same. Okay. Oh yes, it is a kitty, Em. I was trying to figure out what you were saying kitty to. We have the paper, which has the classified secrets may have been leaked overseas. Instant death to a single bullet wound from the back, no other sign of trauma. Floor plan, gun, photograph.
This cross-examination music has really grown on me.
It's very good. Stereoscope. Music box disc. Did we present the music box disc? Just be like, hey fucker, remember this?
It feels shaky because it's just his word against yours on that again, right?
Yeah, I mean, he says, I've never had anything to do with the pawnbroking establishment where the man was killed. And so I feel like he's gonna crack and be like, how do you have that?
Right.
You know the
Yeah,
song?
I mean, it's the best we've got, I guess.
What? The song Dick? What is...
Or the British national anthem?
I don't know.
You said the same thing twice.
I don't know either of these things. It's the British national anthem, God Save the Queen.
No, it's Dick.
I don't know the... Okay, it is. I got it right. It is God Save the Queen. I don't know the melody to this. Hold on, let me look at some sheet music. I can't sight read.
Sing it to the melody of
God.
something entirely different.
No, it's the exact same as God Bless America, right? Like, it's the same tune,
Oh.
isn't it?
I think it's God Save the Queen.
Mm.
It is this exact same melody as a similar song in America, in, like, the
Oh
American,
my god.
like, patriotic musical canon.
I don't, what?
I know the song "Smell Your Dick."
This is
I
not
don't know.
bad.
I don't know the song "Dick."
Oh, does the British, is it My Country 'Tis of Thee?
The American one.
Yes. Maybe? I don't remember. It is it's straight up the same, like, we stole it.
Great, good, what is it?
I think we stole it. I think we stole it.
So it'd be like, God save all dressed in green, long live our noble queen, God save the queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us, God save the queen.
Yeah. that'll
Nice.
do it. Yeah. Hey. Nice.
There you go, I hope you're happy, Em. We saved the queen. It's done. I'm glad we figured that out. Okay. Music box.
Objection.
Hey, nice.
Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? What you
Look, I saw somebody who predicted 3 things for 2021, and 2 of them have come true, and the other one is her dying this month. So we'll see.
done? Oh my god.
Why? Is it supposed to mean something?
This disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn in Mr. Winterbank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try and take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon?
As I have reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life.
It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on this disc.
Oh, yes. Resulting from a abrasion of the thumb, perhaps.
That's right, the surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of the smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Gracious, indeed it must.
Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc.
Ah! Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you.
Fucking liar.
What? What is the meaning of this?
Eggert Salada?
Salida.
He has already admitted to lying in court.
So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon?
It would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. No, quite the reverse.
What are you trying to say?
It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset.
It really wasn't.
Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of pawn?
What?
It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder.
Oh, I assure you, it does. Fucker.
There's a note on the disc saying, "For McGilded," but the item belongs to me.
Weird.
The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
You thought there was more than one.
Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist? Famously died in a fire in this very courtroom 2 months ago, after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder.
Yes, my lord. The one and the same.
Good Lord, Mr. Graydon. Are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, I like his pose from behind them.
Order. What? I certainly didn't expect to hear that name uttered in here in my court again.
According to what Gina told us, this disc was placed in pawn on the fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks.
It's funny that Mr. Graydon was here claiming the disc belongs to him then, isn't it?
In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hand on McGilded's disc for some reason.
Counsel, you will begin your cross-examination, please.
Brigand.
Hold it!
Would you care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary.
Okay.
You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir.
So as you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse while on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat.
Obviously, and in my haste I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket.
And yet there is a note on it that reads, "For McGilded."
I am a collector of rare and unusual music box music. Oh, you're so full of shit.
Right, yeah.
I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city, and I was interested to discover that he shared my pension in that area.
So, the disc in question.
It's a pre-production sample. I promised to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn.
Yes, exactly.
Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she?
No, because McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury.
Ooh, don't want that. Oh dear. This is complicated, isn't it?
Oh, we're gonna prove Gina didn't murder, but that she did lie in court.
Oh, that's fun.
Let's leave it alone for the time being.
Hold it!
So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag?
That's right, despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious areas her kind frequent.
Objection!
Miss Lestrade did no such thing.
Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender.
You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Winterbanks. To get your hands on Mr. McGilded's disc.
Objection!
My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense.
Nonsense?
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Then I will continue with my testimony for what possible use it can be.
Fucker.
Hold it!
Had you ever been to Winterbanks before?
Only once for the purposes of pawning something. But like many, I enjoy browsing such establishments.
So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I didn't notice it at first, of course. Such is the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once, in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this.
I can fly.
Hold it!
Jump off a cliff then.
You can't make me.
Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it?
That's right. That was the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence.
Excuse me!
Excuse me. Is something wrong, Inspector?
What do you mean?
The last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
No, it's nothing. Leave it alone.
Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilded's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yes, exactly. You should know all about that.
Ooh.
Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 years ago.
God, this is
Month.
how suspicious that is.
Right? Oh my god.
2 months ago.
Unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly.
God.
2 months ago, not years. It's been months.
Did I say years?
You sure did.
Oh, wow. Super didn't feel that in my mouth.
Oh, jeez. Why did it go on? Hold on.
Oh, man. Fuck, I can't even see on stream. Wait, oh, you can do the thing.
Yeah,
You
I'll
can
do
that
the
seems like
thing.
an important line.
I'm already adding it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even mean that. I meant...
No, you meant that.
Wait, no, can we look at the... Yeah.
I had to click back into
And
the
then-
game.
Gotcha, okay. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet he had a dark side, too.
Gasp.
Yes, when he was facing a light, there was shadow.
Where are you going with this? Van Zeeks?
He's like the moon.
He didn't have...
I was thinking that.
I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they? That's enough! Coppers like me have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart. I
God damn, Seeks, you're so spicy.
presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector.
God damn. Von Zeke's throwing shade.
I love it.
Grasping food intensely or whatever that. Gripping food.
Gripping food forcefully.
yeah.
Gripping food with force.
Forcefully.
Yeah. The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
Strongheart's a furry.
Yeah.
On that immediately.
I'm not surprised.
He's a wolf. Basic bitch.
Yeah.
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 What's all this about?
It's all this thing.
It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Von Zeeks here. It's like they
No,
were
it's between them.
fucking.
No, the one I was fucking was the other. One.
Well, it would appear that the inspectors revealed all these at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, my lord.
Hold it!
But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items.
No, not at all.
Oh, wait. Did he
Hmm?
leave that redemption ticket here? For the box?
What do you mean?
The other redemption, the redemption ticket for McGilded's music box.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have that and that's why he went back? He knew it was expired and so he went to look for the music box
Oh.
in the shop.
Oh, it was expiring that day, or the next day.
I think it expired 2 days before. I think it
Interesting.
expired earlier. Oh god, I'm pressing the wrong buttons.
Mood.
This expired on the 13th of April. This expired on the 15th. So the overcoat was redeemed on the day it expired. So the music box expired 2 days prior.
What happens if you don't? What happens if
It gets
expires?
put
Goes
in-
up for sale.
Yeah, it goes out for sale in
okay.
the shop.
Yeah. Right. Of course. Yeah.
So he could have been going to peruse for the music box.
Yeah.
Mm.
And maybe he had seen it, but like had to leave because
There's a cop there and shit.
the cop was there and there was a whole kerfuffle, so he couldn't
That would be very Ace Attorney.
purchase back the music box like he wanted.
A good theory.
A
say it.
game theory.
No, you fucker.
What's happening? Did I press something? Oh, yes. Oh, that's why I thought about it, because I just said, but perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items.
No, not at all.
Oh.
A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. Whatever the fuck that means.
He was reading it. It's a direct quote. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilder's disc.
Have you not been listening, man?
Whoops.
Why were you gonna talk?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, I did that with Iris last week.
It's true.
We have the same voice anyway.
It's also true.
Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in.
None. So there was nothing of McGilded's left in the shop that night. Nothing this man might have been after. Wonder if that's really
yeah,
true.
You figured it out, Mullen. Nice. Bruno, if you have some evidence,
Oh, Iris, do I ever?
then let him have it. We can load it into my gun and shoot it right in his face. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble.
Ma'am, this
I
isn't
want to
Danganronpa.
see this twink destroyed! McGilded,
I have a gun! I can do it!
McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Windibanks. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket.
There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his pearly white teeth.
The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day.
But Grexy's being very strange about all this.
There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony.
Objection!
I keep wanting to sing along, but I can't.
I feel yes, I understand.
This disc was deposited at Mr. Windibanks on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again. And in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night.
Objection!
Let me finish. Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true.
Yes!
Get his ass.
Get him!
Get him!
Get him! Like what is it? Like an animal stalking his prey?
Yeah.
I think about it fucking all the time. What a metal line.
Mm-hmm. What?
Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Winterbanks, as this second pawnbroker's ticket proves.
Ah!
There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilded in Winterbanks' pawnbrokery, and the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers.
This is the second ticket, is it?
What the man had deposited? What had the... Oh, sorry. What had the man deposited?
What the man?
What the man? Yeah.
Posited where?
The article description reads, 1 small box.
A rather vague description, it seems to me.
Are you suggesting that I broke into a pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box?
I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
This is absurd. This is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? I'm going to keep reading fair play again. Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft.
That's a good point.
Well, indeed. Witness makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
Yeah, Molly nailed it. It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord.
Could you be a little less cryptic, your fancy?
Oh.
I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible.
Do you hate? Do you hate? I don't think you do.
On the night in question, no small box was taken from Winterbank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it.
That's right, you had them take a fucking detailed inventory of the entire fucking shop. What?
Good gracious.
Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please. Yes, sir.
What prints?
These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras.
A fucking body cam?
And these red-handed recorders again. As previously explained using this plan of the shop layout, the victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Winterbank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited.
We're gonna see that something was moved.
Yeah. According to the information on this ticket, the gilded small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident, at 9 p.m. on 13th April to be precise. Which means it would have been on the shelves of forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on 15th April.
There it is.
Molly, you fucking had it from the, like with the fucking guy in front of
Standing in the
him.
way.
You were like, he's fucking look at it because he's standing there. you had it way back then already.
So angry.
Yeah.
Judge.
Oh, sorry. The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear.
Time for spot the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident.
Mm.
I didn't see a difference. Did you guys?
Is the crank in a different spot?
No. It was up before, too.
I see. So we have two pictures to compare.
So we're gonna put them in the stereoscope, right?
Yeah, we're gonna stereoscope again. I absolutely.
Here we go.
Though I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold.
Can we just for our benefit? Oh, something moved. The thing on the right, bottom right of the shelves. That thing moved.
Yes,
Oh,
it did. You're
oh
correct.
yeah, that little box, that little brown
Yeah.
box. The little
I don't know
brown-
what it is, but
It did.
The
yeah.
little brown box has clearly shifted.
And
Oh,
I think that's the only thing,
It
right?
didn't get taken because he couldn't find it. He's like, oh, it's a box.
Right,
I have to check every single box and
Right.
find out which one I need.
Yeah.
and he
And
didn't
then
have
he
enough
got-
time.
Then he got shot.
He didn't have enough time.
Oh,
He,
And then
tried
he got
to-
shot.
he looked at that box and was like, "This can't be it." Put it back in the wrong spot.
Right.
Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache.
I'm not good at spot the difference. Mm.
I prefer the junior jumble.
Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we consider theft as one possible motive to this case. In this case, we explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life.
So your men have already compared the two prints thoroughly, Inspector?
Yes, sir.
And they missed the obvious shift in item.
Yeah,
They're not
Yeah.
that bright.
I did only have to look at it for a few seconds. We counted every single item in each of these two photographic prints. And the Yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both.
Well, you're right.
They didn't even look at them at the
Nothing
same
was
time. They
Yeah.
looked at them.
Taken.
They looked at them one at a time, and I was like, "Oh wow, this one's got this many
Then-
items."
They're
Yeah,
right
so
that
sounds good.
nothing was taken.
Technically.
Fuckers.
Dumbasses, fools.
Mm.
In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question.
In other
Because he got-
words,
Because he got shot.
I got shot.
And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy.
Ugh.
Is
Owie.
this a real life?
How could this happen to me? I don't believe it. If I could have just shown that he'd stolen McGilded's pawned box, I might have been able to break him down at last.
Victory wiggle return.
Victory
You know what,
wiggle.
Runo?
Victory wiggle!
I've been
A
thinking,
dangerous task.
I wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the
They're
same.
not.
Hmm.
What?
So, counsel, in light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
I accept
yeah,
that
even this
nothing.
question is.
I accept that nothing was stolen. That's not
What?
the problem. I don't know. Could there be some hidden discrepancy in these two photographic prints somewhere? Point out a discrepancy.
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 We probably could choose, like, it is probably correct to also use the stereoscope here.
Oh, maybe.
Right, because it would be blurry there.
I wasn't sure at first, but there is a clear discrepancy between these two prints.
What?
You dumbass.
You must identify the question in the location in question for the court counsel. Indicate the precise location and the discrepancy of which you speak.
Granted, these two prints are
Yes.
almost identical.
Fuck yeah.
However, there is one minor discrepancy between them.
What?
What?
What, mate?
Hello! When you view the two pictures stereoscopically,
Oh wow, the stereoscope. That's funny.
a single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box.
Let me. Wait. Unbelievable.
Inconceivable. Oh my god.
By
Oh my
Jove,
God.
alright. How extraordinary.
Incredible. It's just a delight. What this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilder's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks on the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves.
Are you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilden was in fact...
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints.
Objection!
Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means, quite simply, that nothing has changed.
Maybe there was something inside it. That may be true, but... Alright, McGilder's box wasn't stolen then. But doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things? I mean, it means somebody was looking for it.
Right? Somebody picked it up. and moved
Somebody
it.
picked it up and moved it.
And.
That changes everything.
Changes everything.
I believe this changes everything about the case.
How can that possibly be?
The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box.
What are you suggesting?
Such a weird sprite.
I love it. It's so good.
I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection!
That won't be necessary.
Why?
Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial.
Sir.
Court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zeeks.
Fuck yeah.
Get wrecked. Bailiff! Arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once.
Okay.
Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination.
It's gonna be fucking empty.
Right. But.
I think that's the point.
Right, why would it. I mean.
It's gonna very specifically have held a music box disc.
In which they stand here and wait and just in silence while the court. And they're just staring at each
Yes.
other.
Just glare.
Yes, we are waiting in the courtroom for the bailiff to come back.
And Zeke stare.
I have a chair, the rest of you can stand. Should have a report within half an hour. Get comfy. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth.
Ah, yes, we don't have to wait. To be hoodwinked by such a farce.
Hoodwinked.
To be hoodwinked. To be hoodwinked. It's disappointing.
I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zeeks.
This is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem.
God, you're such a prick. What are you trying to say?
My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery.
I do believe his reasoning has been a pawnbrokery, but, you know.
Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
You know, money isn't the only value in objects, Van Zeeks.
Exactly. Exactly. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such a commonplace property.
Things belonging to McGilded are not exactly commonplace property. Asshole.
If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty.
Erroneously.
A trial in which it was established he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied, in fact.
Unfortunately.
So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense.
I hate you.
The articles this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. Why did he fucking pawn them? A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of its pockets. And a small box.
Oh, so you're admitting you didn't pawn it.
I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me.
You just admitted that overcoat wasn't yours. You know, that does make a rather lot of sense. It's not as
It's not as if it was gold or jewels, is it? Though goodness knows Mr. McGilder was rich enough.
But you can't deposit cash at a pawnbrokery.
The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling.
It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. Bolster. Oh, that's weird in British. Its argument.
Bolster.
Bolster, yeah.
Both there.
Bolster. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have.
Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable?
That's right, the fucking jacket's just full of blood. It's just chock-a-block full of blood. I forgot.
Well, that thing was just fucking soaked in blood.
Just
Are you able to show
soaked.
proof that the disc or the box are in any intangible way related to this?
Well,
What's the matter, Runo?
Hmm.
We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course. You and I both knew that. We know McGilded's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that McGilded's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense's argument was flawed. based on false information.
Oh no.
And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury.
But Ginny...
Could it be the Van Ziek's nose? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he's anticipated everything?
But maybe... This could be a great opportunity for us.
Sorry? What do you mean, Iris?
Well, what is it you always say, Bruno? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time.
Alright, the exact significance of the things that McGilda deposited with Mr. Windibank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case.
Just such a good quandary. I love it.
What's the right thing to do here?
Testify. We're here for the truth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gina. And I'm sorry, us.
I'm sorry, Gina. We do love you.
We do.
Oh.
But you got, like... I'd rather her get arrested for perjury than murder.
Yeah. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
Oh? What proposal, counsel?
While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand.
The defendant? To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Windibanks by Mr. McGilded, my lord. Miss Lestrade's information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all.
Well, well. Things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own.
I have.
Lord Van Zieks, would you care here to explain that last remark?
No.
Prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself.
God, feels bad, man.
He just hates small children.
It's true.
Very well. If you have no objection. So the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice.
God, I fucking hate you.
And I shall bid you a good day.
No,
the
you
movement of the cat
do
without
have
it
to
on.
stay.
Not leave, step down.
Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies.
As you wish.
Such a fucking bottom.
And Miles keeps a voice.
Barely.
Alright then, Gina. It's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here.
Good luck, Bruno.
God, it feels bad, man.
Really feels bad.
The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well.
That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we are all again. And here we all are again. The same players in that trial facing each other once more.
It's almost like you've done this on purpose or something.
A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nepalese friend.
Yeah. Total coincidence. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances.
A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on.
Weird.
As indeed does the omnibus murder itself.
Get fucked, hollandaise sauce!
Who's hollandaise sauce?
Graydon.
Oh.
Hollandaise sauce is the sauce on eggs Benedict.
Oh, right.
Be that as it may, I recall that neither the disc nor the small box being mentioned in the court of those proceedings.
He could have called himself Saul Hollandaise or something. That would have been a more believable name than Eggert Benedict.
Could have been well, could have been Saul and Days, like Andaise.
Hmm.
I do believe I said that.
Miss Lestrade. Would you like to tell the court now, please? What really happened on the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean. I don't know what... I don't know what you mean. I already said all what I knew. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. But...
Remember, little girl, if it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek you to prosecute you for perjury.
Sir, do you want guilty people to go to jail or not?
And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness.
Fuck you, dude.
Although, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose.
God, you suck.
I hope he dies in the next game.
Ginny, don't listen to him! Please, you have to trust Bruno now!
Iris?
We're on your side!
Oh. Alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it.
I'm here for the truth. What are you here for?
Murder.
I think he's here for the truth, too.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here.
Oh, Judge, never change.
Right?
However, it would appear that Mr. McGilden's pawned articles and the extraordinary case of the omnibus are but secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware.
Uh-huh.
So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
Fuck off. God, guys. This is it then. Everything's going to come out. Like Von Ziek said. This could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. And I'm prepared to go get some water.
Water.
I'm gonna get
Hydrate, bitches.
some water. Go hydrate.
You fucks.
That's what I just went to do. Where
You absolute dingai.
Molly left us on a silent screen again.
Dun dun ba. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba ba. Da 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 da.
This is getting juicy.
Oh god, it's so juicy. Bum, 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 bum. It can't be wrong if it can't be off if it's not playing. Miles the trendsetter.
I could get more snacks, or I could get a snack. I just ran to fill my water bottle up.
Molly's back.
Hi.
Molly is back.
Is Shasta here?
No.
Okay.
Great.
Well, I guess we'll keep waiting. We'll keep waiting then.
Truth is, that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me up from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head, and that pair on the roof deck went off to call it slops. That's when McGilda slipped the driver something to do a run and... Oh, God. That's when McGilda slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch. Not to say nothing to no one about what I heard or seen.
Good grief, this is outrageous. What you just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
Yeah, dude.
As you say, my lord.
Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in McGilden's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court.
Weird.
In an effort to cover up the most wickedest schemes.
Schemes.
Who would do such a thing?
Without doubt.
And lie.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial of this witness and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
Listen, when I tried to put a stop to the trial because I thought that we were missing something, no one would listen to me. I don't believe it.
Still up there?
Oh, trials are farce. I'm a gilded fraud the cautious like that pickpocket. Don't forget that lawyer from the east. They were all in it to the other.
They were all on it together.
You were wrong, the lot of you. Mr. Naruto, the lawyer here, he didn't know nothing about it. Humbug.
I don't think so. I really expected to believe that.
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free.
Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop.
Oh, I really wanted Russian guy's take.
Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony, because the true significance of McGilded's Pond articles must be brought to light.
No, I think you who just willingly surrendered your truths here, I think you're still evil.
Very well, my learned student friend.
Oh, okay. That's new.
I wonder if it's an honorific that changed.
It seems like a downgrading.
Yeah, no, like used a term that like refer to him as younger.
Yeah.
My Kohei, Kohei is the. It's like there's senpai for if you're a senior, and Kohei, I believe, is the junior. So you might have called him that. Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing.
Asshole.
Words fail me. Situation is utterly deplorable.
Utterly.
Mr. Naruto,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. Blimey, Mr. Naruto.
Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Blimey.
None of these people have an ounce of if this, then.
Hold it!
And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats? Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
What?
Excuse me.
Interesting.
Excuse me. I could see that his back. I could see that his back was turned, and I was like, "What's happening?"
Very interesting. Yeah.
Happening. Oh my God. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Indeed. Now, in your testimony 2 months ago,
Do you think his beard is real?
I've wondered the same thing myself, actually.
Jesus Christ.
I feel certain that you claim Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord.
That's what he told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps some business dealings of some kind.
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
And I believe you let out an involuntary scream.
Yeah. That's what gave me away. Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove line on the floor.
Could this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but Mr. McGill picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat in the cove with a knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen or heard to no one. About the disc and all. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a little questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Yeah, that's right. First there was a kind of rapping noise.
Hold it!
There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. He must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGilda got me out of sight.
Is cove, Cockney rhyming slang?
Gotta be.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on, I can look it up.
Out of sight. Where?
Back onto the seat where it started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two coves from the roof ran off to fetch the slops.
It means a man, but I gotta figure out why. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious about why.
It means a man, but I gotta figure out why.
A boy or a man?
Well, like, I want to know what the rhyme is, right?
Yeah.
If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear that they were entirely unrelated to the incident.
Oh, what the fuck? Why did... Oh, he just hummed.
That was just a
So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene. Yeah. Only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe.
So me,
So he also perjuried, is what
a
they say.
Beppo.
Beppo.
I'm voiced by Chris Pratt.
Did you say this, Shasta?
Oh, that's Judge. A fellow up by the name of Beppo, if memory serves.
Bro, no
Sweet
Edgeworth.
country.
0 out of 10. Hi, Kepler. Yeah, no Edgeworth. What did Mr. McGilded and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened, and stuff like that mainly.
Hold it!
That pawn shop obviously being Windibanks on Baker Street. Baker Street.
Just a moment, counsel. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Okay. So the word cove isn't actually Cockney rhyming slang as far as I can tell. It's just old British slang. So there isn't a rhyme, it just like is a word.
Cool.
I can't figure out why. Evidently it's often used in context like old cove, meaning like an old man. Like it's usually used with an adjective in front, but not always.
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Yeah,
It
perhaps.
might have originated from like an older word kova, meaning person.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Judge.
Ah, indeed, Lord Van Leeks.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up, all careful like, before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it gotta be worth a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilda flashed some brass in his face. He went running off without a lick. And the bog trotter called a bee and told me to come out from the drag's cabin. Threatened me not to snitch.
Hold it!
Threatened you how exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scap if I did exactly what he said.
Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it. There was one other thing he said.
Which was?
He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug. Stop it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really? Why on earth would Mr. McMillan have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGill did had the driver deposit at Windibank's was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that, he let me go. So I legged it before the coppers showed up. Well done, Gina. Can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
Vinny's faith in you, Bruno.
Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement. Which I think we did, right?
I suppose I should.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time?
Yes. That is fucking weird. Looks like they're having a secret discussion about something.
They all sound like this, and it's very strange.
I'm not
We're
sure.
having a private conversation.
I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. Wonder if there's anything I can do about it.
Throw the guy's hat at him.
Do I just like press and then like excuse me?
Look.
I'm gonna do it.
They sound just like you.
Oh my god. Lead by.
I haven't heard M in a voice call for a while.
Hold it!
Okay, I'm gonna press and then we're gonna
Just hold on it. Oh, is this finally what we're gonna do? Are we finally gonna like have to? Oh, we can just do that.
yeah.
I didn't realize we
Excuse
could
me.
just do that. That's cool. Okay.
Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? There's finally a point in time where I get to do it without it
Right.
prompting me. Yes!
That's cool.
All I
yeah.
ever
The
wanted.
game had to
That's
be like.
kind of great.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted.
I'm glad they give us. I hope they do that more in too.
Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
Holy shit, that's the loudest Renosuke's ever talked. What? Blimey, you trying to give me a heart attack?
You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about?
Discussion? With this fella? Pull another one, sunshine. You think I got anything to do anything to talk about with this shady gent like this?
You've been doing it in front of the entire fucking
I
courtroom.
don't know what you're talking about.
And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
But
I
they've
almost read that bad.
clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating.
Ooh.
Fancies, you think this is weird too, right?
Thank you, Miss Lestrade. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus.
It would appear that on the night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force. At the expense of the other man's life.
Which proves my point. The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why, as yet.
And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the Cove died right after his trial. I knew that.
So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own.
Well, why not? They're only gonna be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Not 1984 yet.
Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc.
Thank you for laughing, Molly.
Do you know why that would be?
I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. I'm kidding. That was word. That was not correct. My
Oh, bailiff.
lord. The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir.
Took you fucking long enough.
I said it was gonna be half an hour.
Can we replace those with a vine boom?
What?
Never mind. Don't worry about it. Let's let the story's happening.
Okay. The mysterious little box deposited by McGilded 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle.
Oh, it's longer than I thought. Couldn't see that in the picture.
So this is the article in question, is it? A small box deposited by the pawnbroker at Mr. McGilded's 2 months ago. Sorry, I was thinking, what is this? What reminds me of? And it's Antique Roadhouse. I was thinking of Antique Roadhouse.
Does have that camera angle. And on the night of Mr. Winterbank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop.
Quick! Quick! Let's open it and see what's inside! No. Oh.
It's a music box.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
God gracious, this is no ordinary box, it seems.
Wow. Although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case.
It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement.
Miniature.
He wouldn't say miniature, he would say miniature.
Then, is it too much to expect?
We gotta put the disc in the box.
I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord.
Let's hear it.
Gregson's gonna be like, no, we can't fucking play that shit here.
So, here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded disc. Deposited at Winterbanks at much the same time.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's dick. Oh, fuck. Well,
You're right.
It was
It's
gonna
not
be me,
bad.
but it was you! I thought it was gonna be me, but it was you!
I made the joke in chat earlier, but boy.
Because Graydon said something like, deny me the disc that was rightfully mine or something, and I was like, oh boy.
That
I
was
think Graham
close.
someone at some point said they wanted to get their hands on that disc, on McGilded's disc. And I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh man. Taking it for the team.
we were all worried.
it was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. Bus. Fuck. Bus.
Omnibus.
Omnibusy. Alright.
Omnibus.
Omnibus.
But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded?
Dick in a box intensifies.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah, I did say that just now.
Christ. Disaster. Oh my god, Renosuke. He's so cute. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well.
Yes.
Yes, very well. The court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Stabs.
Yep, I knew it. Wait! My lord!
Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case.
Well, that's
Horseshit.
not true.
You're so... I mean, there's a lot of things you could say here that are valid, and that is not fucking one of them.
He really doesn't. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere of the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
Objection!
This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened.
The prosecution has no objection.
Thank you.
Yes!
He wants this so bad.
He wants it
But
so
no!
bad.
That piece of evidence, fucking, is police property now. You can't. Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. Omnis sussy. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
Listen.
He fucking engineered this shit.
Ooh!
God.
Oh my god! You throw the chips around!
Yeah.
No further delays, please. Play the disc.
Yes! God, I'm so curious. Turn my music up.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be fucking.
Conversation or something.
It's Morse code.
It's Morse fucking code.
Of fucking course it is.
Of
course.
I
Hello?
knew it was gonna be inscrutable right now.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I thought it sounded like Never Gonna Give You Up.
Fuck.
God, it's a fucking.
I don't know Morse code.
Oh, but you know who does?
Who does?
One of
the
our
fucking
jurors
telegraph lady and Graydon.
and
Oh,
Graydon.
shit! Oh, she's gonna know right away. Fuck. And Braden, of course, yeah, communications. Fuck.
What on earth?
I'm so hype right now.
That's certainly not what I would call music.
I mean, it's technically music.
It does have a certain funky beat to it.
A certain funky beat.
It's just the same note
That's
playing
why I
over
wanted
and
it. It was
over
funky
again
and
in
wonderful.
an irregular sequence.
It's 2 notes.
Hmm.
And the interval is a fourth.
Yeah, show off.
It's totally got some other rhythm to it. Never Gonna Give You Up.
Laughing. I could get
Oh.
lit to this.
Someone makes a remix of this.
Mr. Graydon,
Still fucking going. This really is priceless. After all that, the music box is broken.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You know it's not. You fuck.
Broken? It can't be. Can it?
Perceive.
Right?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
Fuck off.
well, with much regret,
Oh, come on.
I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues.
Ma'am,
Come
on
on,
the
juror number
stand,
5.
jury, I need your objection. Miss Ma'am?
Please?
Ma'am, please. Miss Ma'am, please.
Are you ready to move on, counsel?
No! Come on. Yes, alright. Does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from this box possibly be a new clue? It's a clue!
He said that out loud just now.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel, more than mere noise. Fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever.
It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me.
Abomination.
While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge.
If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this.
Oh!
Answer me.
Oh, man. I wish I knew Morse code
just to
just
figure
by
it out.
listening
Yeah.
to it. I could
It's the sort of thing, if I were playing this alone, I would go and look up
go
Morse
look
code
up
and
an
just translate
alphabet.
it. Like,
I want
like,
to, but
obviously, the game's gonna tell us, right?
Yeah,
but
but I
just
want
like the
to so
satisfaction of figuring out
bad.
yourself, right? Yeah, absolutely. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case?
it's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is
An unusual genre of music.
Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Deductions based on how people react to what you say.
I'm beginning to act like Hurley.
Acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
Yep. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not,
Tell us what they are.
I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend.
Well,
Surely you have an idea in mind, because if not,
I super do.
it will be the death of your ill-formed argument.
No, I got it.
Exactly.
Why are you
Sorry, I forgot that I was
talking?
muted. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
They've got me. I don't know what the answer is. Yet.
My
Yet.
not shirt. Yeah. Anyway.
Yet.
Runo?
He's looking right at us. I hate this.
I love this sprite so
God.
much.
It's so doofy.
It's my favorite fucking Ryu sprite. It's so silly. This and the hand raise.
Yeah.
And the face slap.
Yeah, no, it's no.
Just-
I mean, also the he slaps the table and he doesn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah.
There's just, I
Yeah,
love
he's just good.
everything.
He's just
It's
good. He's
very
just good animation.
I've just examined the music box very thoroughly,
Great.
and I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Really? Great.
Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
Oh fuck! It's supposed to be that.
Oh.
It's supposed to be a
Oh.
message transmitter.
all
That's
of
brilliant.
That's
the
cool.
the thingies in the music box are meant to be the same tone,
Yeah, yeah.
so that the different, because I was looking at it and trying to figure out how is it only playing one note when the dots are all in different places.
Mhm.
But that's the point. It all
Yeah.
plays the same note, and so you can have a really long message on one disc.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is delightful. Thank you, Iris. Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Ah. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are?
Yes, my boy.
Things just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even,
Because we've heard her doing her fucking
she's been doing
telegraph
it.
thing.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes.
Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
So even if you don't know what Morse code is, like
Mm-hmm.
the player can be like, "Oh, hold on."
Mm-hmm. Judge.
Sorry. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, counsel?
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now.
The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation.
This is, I think, my favorite courtroom music.
It's really good.
It's just like,
It's just such an atmosphere.
yeah, it's just so suspenseful, but also kind of like dark. All right then. This could
Without
be the-
being too.
Yeah, without
much
being
so.
too heavy-handed. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is...
Oh.
I think it's the newspaper.
Oh, the transmission of government secrets.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Take that!
Today's paper, Council. Headline is Pawnbroker perishes in Pickpurse blunder. Hardly supportive of your case.
No, my lord, I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down. Ministry mole classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter. Being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries.
And presumably, those transmissions are on the form of wired telegrams?
Of course.
Juror number 5. Your input, please.
Thank you.
Stop. Oh, me, sir? Whatever is the matter? You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports?
Gregson is fucking quaking right now.
Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code? What? I don't believe it! Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer.
Are you suggesting that the music box disc
Oh fuck.
contains stolen government secrets in Morse code?
Did you hear that?
He's been
I was
petting
so
that
close
house
to doing it again.
suspiciously for a while. You were.
Yeah.
Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council. Deserving of capital punishment.
Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment?
The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know.
It's just like, oh yeah, this is an assassin. I know he's an assassin. Anyway.
I know what's
All
happening.
sovereign governments' confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus.
But in the end, McGill had perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
My word!
This is so much.
This keeps escalating so
I'm
aggressively.
so
I
excited.
knew it had to. I knew it had to.
I knew it wouldn't be music.
Right.
In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country...
It would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death.
So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night.
Oh man.
Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon?
You think I've been stealing government secrets?
God, you look like someone who would steal government secrets.
You look like a traitor.
Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous.
You're a bloody turncoat.
So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do.
You think he's gonna claim treason and get executed?
I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Yes!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir.
Haha, get fucked, Zeeks.
No, I think he's...
I mean, Zeeks is trying to fuck.
No, he's
Yeah.
on this guy, yeah.
He's doing this on purpose.
I know, but he keeps screaming, "Oh ho ho, you're so wrong," and then having to eat his own shit.
Fair enough.
I guess. I don't know. I don't see it that way. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense.
He's being a tsundere. That's all.
Delighted, I'm sure.
A racist tsundere.
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. That being a most...
Flagitious?
That's a new word.
That's a whole...
flagitious offense.
Alright.
For which the
Vocab,
the last
bird,
stage is a capital
fled,
punishment.
fled,
Flagitious. I got it.
Flagitious.
The pronunciation is correct.
flagitious.
Criminal or villainous of a...
Villainous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Of a
For
person.
some reason, when I Google words now, Google always, its first instinct is to attempt to, in the definition box, translate it to Polish.
Oh.
And I don't know
That's odd.
why. So it says, adjective of a person or their actions criminal, villainous, translate flagitious to Polish. And it's Odin.
Okay.
Put it in
A
chat
lot of good
because
quotes
goddamn,
tonight.
that's this word in Polish according to Google.
But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon.
So I want you to lie if you committed high treason, because then you're going to die. It's what it always feels like when people, like, stress that kind of shit.
So then let us proceed that,
Oh!
Oh.
You got to let us have rabbit and pork here, Governor. We got things to say. We got things to say.
I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are?
Nash.
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie.
Name's Ringo Skulkin. But we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland.
That's
Oh,
right.
they want to say we're not treasonous. It's just him.
We're what they call
The three Skulkin
the
brothers.
Three Skulkin brothers.
Not professional, M.
Bad.
Professional.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
Jesus.
Was that it?
Thanks, guys.
They want
He just interrupts the fucking testimony. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information.
Absolutely, you could. What are you talking about?
Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code.
They sure are.
It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with the guild anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. But look, all we done is break in for Gap the other night, like we were Look, all we done is break in for Gap the other night, like we took. Okay.
I was ready to
what
accept.
he told us to.
What he told us to.
I was ready to accept.
You know, I started over because I messed up the pronunciation at the beginning. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
If we thought it was dodgy government secrets involved, we would have touched it.
We wouldn't have touched it.
We did not touch it. We did not.
Oh, Jesus.
So fucking bad.
We didn't touch it. We didn't touch it. We didn't.
God, so bad. Oh,
I am not a traitor.
I did not touch it. I did not.
I didn't touch it.
I didn't touch it. It was a terrible. What would
I
have
love you
gone
guys.
if we'd known?
Oh, you
Oh
too.
my god, if we'd known.
God. God.
And Mr. Skulkin.
One Mr. will do, Governor. What's up?
We are a hive mind.
What's up?
Mr. Skulkin.
I've
Well,
got a
take-
medical degree. I'm Dr. Skulkin, please.
Mr. Skulkin. Ugh.
Mr. Skulkins. Do I take it that you now admit to the crime?
God damn.
That on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally. And moreover, you did it as a party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here.
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Well, they're fucked.
We
did,
did,
Gov,
Gov.
we
We
did.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet and down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to.
Uh-huh.
You little raw getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight up job.
And what about the geezer whose shop it was, huh? What the fuck am I doing?
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thanks. Well,
I didn't
bloke
see this
did
now,
not
but Emily's
die.
comment is, I always quote the room guy in a date, and if he doesn't get the reference, I don't see him again. It's fucking so funny.
It's an amazing deal breaker.
Oh man,
Oh
I've
god.
never seen The Room. I just constantly had people quoting it at me.
You don't have to see The Room to know how to quote it.
I watched it in a bedroom on the Sarah Lawrence campus.
Yep.
Like, it was. Were you there?
It was my bedroom because it was my birthday.
No, it was not. That's
No?
how I watched it.
Are
I
we
watched
sure?
it. I watched it with Ben.
You watched it
Oh.
separately.
I know. I watched it in Sarah Lawrence on on one of my birthdays there.
I
And I
watched
was
it on like
drunk
a
as
rainy
shit.
night with Kit
Right.
Casper and Ben.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was just a thing that goes on at Sarah.
Yes.
Oh my god. I think it was supposed to happen for me at one time where we were like, you gotta watch The Room, and it didn't happen. And I was like, that's fine. And what about the geezer's
The
shop
Orient-
it was? Oh, poor old Blake bloke didn't have to die, did he?
the Sarah Lawrence week 1 tradition of watching The Princess Bride, but instead of that, it's The Room.
Oh,
No, week 1 Princess Bride, week 2 The Room.
Jesus. Nice to know who your friends are.
Whatever these men say, I deny the accusation. I deny the accusations.
Okay.
Indeed.
I don't believe you.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting. certain...
Certain wasn't late.
Is he shot too? Someone on Sarah Lawrence campus, but no idea where or when. Were you there that night too? You might have been. I don't remember exactly who was there.
Edgar giving me Dio vibes.
Yeah.
God.
Oh God.
Okay, let's try this line again.
You got this.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
Oh, hey, Em, I haven't heard your thoughts on the judge as British. I'm curious.
The small music box has been entered into the court record.
Yeah. And who's doing like any highlights? Any accent highlights?
Anyone? Who's your favorite?
Anyone doing okay?
Anyone do
Give us
Who's
grades.
butchering it the least?
okay? Oh, God.
Hold it!
So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted.
Congratulations, Shasta.
You got the medal.
How can I possibly know?
What do you mean by that?
Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of the staff and station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
To be fair to Molly, she also does have the worst character to be doing British with.
Oh
I think
no,
Aronofsky is
stop!
fine.
Must say something, stop!
I kind of want all of us to give Gina a try at some point.
Yes.
I absolutely want to give
I
you
would
that a try.
love.
Let
I've
me
been
guess.
so curious.
Juror number 5. We regular communication station officers aren't as lonely as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. That's fascinating. Graydon is a
Everybody
highly
betray
skilled
me.
operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idols. Stop.
So you had access? Nope. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon.
Well, what of it? Transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent enciphered. Normal employees can't possibly understand them.
Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no
Damn.
errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize
Destroy
at the
this man.
Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. That's fascinating. To be fair, for my Renoske accent too, he's not fully supposed to be speaking in a British accent.
And we flavored it that his Japanese is American.
Yes.
So if
And
any American
anyone who's speaking Japanese has an American accent, and everyone who is speaking English has a British accent.
Yes.
Like, Susato is the same way, and so is Soseki, and we didn't do that before we left Japan, though, so
Right,
that was
right.
it.
Because no one was speaking English, except for the one person who was speaking English, and Alex was doing a British accent.
That is fair, actually, yes.
Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idols. Stop.
Oh. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you'd keep your mouth shut.
She should really pick her idols more carefully.
Also, thanks, Em. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded.
Posh boy British is the best British.
Hold it!
They're not?
To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
Of course. Of course.
Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code.
When would I hear it? Ouch. He looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Who's laughing? I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson here in court. Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you hear only one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same and everything.
But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code.
No!
Close. We can't be wrong.
It's super not wrong.
Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap.
It's like modified.
Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future.
Stop. Nothing to say, but stop.
Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
Iris?
I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely.
Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use the music box somehow to play back Morse code? Give it a try.
Interesting.
There's still every possibility that this that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It should be infinitum, but he would say infinitum. It's already been established that to be Morse code, two tones are required. Dots and dashes.
Yes, I'm very well aware of that.
Then what?
Oh, okay.
Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward.
You got
Could
something
we
else?
slow it down? Because, like, right now, because of the way the music box functions, you can't have a sustained note, right? Like, they're inherently like a single ting.
Yeah.
Is there a way you could, like, slow it down, or I don't know what else, or play it backwards or something?
I mean, I would just
Time
think that it's the
pauses.
pauses, right? That was my interpretation.
Oh,
The pauses mean that they're just that implies a longer note because that's literally how it works in music, like piano.
That's brilliant.
'Cause there are
Yeah, that's probably exactly
There are
it.
actually three kinds of pauses on this.
I felt
There's
like
the-
I was being gaslighted by the game because
Yeah.
like pianos literally that's how they work. You can't sustain a piano note any long. Like you can,
Mhm.
yeah, you can use the pedal, but like as themselves, right? Like
And Chauncey, there should be 3 gaps. There has to be for
Yeah,
short
there's,
notes, long notes, and
there's
that's
a
what
short
I'm
gap,
saying.
there's a longer
there's
gap,
a-
and then
yeah.
there's a long gap to signify it that the message is starting over.
Mhm.
Right, absolutely.
There's like the dot, and then dot.
Yes, please continue.
I will not stop. Never. I will never continue ever again.
You had better present your idea at once, Council. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
Y'all have no imagination. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, we're just gonna. Okay. What's that?
Oh,
What is it, Bruno?
I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well.
Get a bucket, turn it upside down, and just play the bottom.
Ah! You're right! Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it!
Alright then, here goes.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, right, there was 2 discs.
Oh, that's right!
Oh!
Oh,
Shit!
Christ.
You have to have both discs.
At the same time.
That's brilliant.
Amazing.
There's another movement on the underside. And that's the other tone.
You have to have
Fucking
2 of the same
Fuck
discs,
yeah.
I think. So we need Herlock to bring the other disc.
Oh my god! Yes, Herlock!
Save us!
Yes!
So does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side?
Think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together.
They're linked.
So if you had 2 discs, they would both play back at the same time.
Oh my god. This is so
Yes!
rad.
Yeah.
Yes!
Got it.
Good gracious. What am I looking at here? Another movement on the other side of the music box.
What? Nani the fuck?
I know you played it like what? My first thought was he reads that and I'm like, what? Just like true, not like confused, not like aggressive, just
Mm-hmm.
absolute complete bafflement. Like
What?
what?
My first thought was just what?
What?
The accent goes
Oh
like,
my.
what?
He looks so fucking
What?
intense every time
Yeah.
he does it.
It's
You know?
true.
You know, I just my brain like filled it in with like the most like doofy out of place.
No,
What?
That's valid.
It appears,
super
my
fucking
lord,
valid.
that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time.
Good heavens.
As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, the music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
This is so fucking rad. Is this like? Is there any historical basis in this? I'm super curious.
I don't know.
This is beyond a joke.
I'm sorry.
This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims.
Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well,
I can't. At the moment.
and may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs.
Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
Good night, Thanks
Night,
for
Em.
hanging
Thank
out.
you.
Good night, Em.
Oh my god, it's like 4 a.m. Yeah.
Exactly. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. I also can read.
Yeah, sure you can. Aww.
What?
Since profile isn't in my record.
You're thrice fired for treason 3 different times.
I've got the same hair and eye color. Different face shapes, obviously, and Mason is clearly dead, but...
It could be. How old is Graydon?
I don't know that we
Or
know.
something? I think it said so.
Oh, he's 27, okay. We know now that he's not Eggert Benedict.
We know how old Mason was?
Like 40... 52?
I think-
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You get him and his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Strongheart's 52, so I don't think Mason was 52, but... Nash and Skulkin. He's 26
Yeah, he was 54.
and 27. Christ.
Ringo's older?
Yeah. Nash has specifically
Yeah, 'cause
said
he's-
that Ringo is the
I
his
forgot.
big
I fully
brother.
forgot.
Ringo is Mario and Nash is Luigi.
Yes.
Oh, as hoes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
Thank you, Judge. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere. I haven't found it yet.
Dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno.
I will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr.
You're
Graydon.
You will reiterate.
I've got it all written down right here.
If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination.
Fuck off.
It was some low-class brickmaking.
Oh, did I read this?
Yes.
No, I read this already, yeah. Okay. I did this already, right, didn't I?
Is this the same statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is,
Interesting.
I have no relation to the man.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I wasn't listening the first time you did it.
It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded, wasn't it? I've no relation to the man. Besides, the sound produced by the music box aren't even Morse code.
Really making this hard on Miles tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, fucking god.
You didn't have
Look
to.
close enough.
You didn't have to read it again. I thought you were doing a bit.
I was gonna read it because you said you weren't listening, so I figured I'd do it again. And then you just moved on.
Miles is literally so hurt.
Sorry, I'll start from the beginning.
No, God, no. It's fine.
I'm
I was gonna just finish the statement.
I'm sorry. I think it was just this statement that I was like, I don't remember him saying I have no relation to the man.
He did say that, definitely.
Look, all we've done is. Oh, it's this guy. Never mind.
Can we give the lead up to that? Because I love the way he leaned into that phase.
Yeah. It's very good.
Ah,
Ah.
look.
He does it too!
Ah.
Oh my god.
Ringo's angrier about it though.
Okay. So we only pressed the first two statements, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright.
Yes, correct.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Hold it!
There's so much going on. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, the guild had killed the brickmaker and stole the disc.
Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. Tough line.
That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information?
How indeed?
Just look at that fucking smirk.
How
what
indeed?
a prick.
How indeed.
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason in order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal.
Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that.
An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together.
If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony.
We'll get back to you, Nash, in a second. Mason Milverton.
It just always makes me think of the plural of MILF.
Huh?
You know, every time.
That's what it was. He was multiple MILFs.
No, MILFs. Sorry. You
I
Molly.
don't think you could plausibly. I don't think MILFs could
It's MILFs.
go. It couldn't, because what would the V be? Moms I'd like to fuck?
I don't make the rules. It's MILFs. Just like how elf becomes elves, right? It's MILFs.
Oh my god. Shelf becomes shelves.
I mean, it depends
Yeah,
on who
see?
you're talking about. Elf becomes elves to some people.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. There's so many books that make a joke about it if you pay attention.
Really?
Yep.
Anyway.
I don't remember what media it was, but the other day I saw somewhere. Oh, it was Cookie Clicker.
The shelf one applies.
Cookie Clicker was talking about some sort of debate over pronunciation and said, while in the distance a war between elves and elves wages.
Oh, that's funny.
See how the fog McGilded sits in the music box the man deposited at Windibanks. It couldn't be a more perfect fit.
So there's no question then. The disc was designed to be played in this music box.
Yet despite that, the sounds it produces are neither musical nor do they appear to have any meaning. It just doesn't make any sense.
I wonder if perhaps there's more to this music box than meets the eye. Maybe we haven't discovered all its secrets yet.
Wolf and wolves.
Thanks, Levi.
Self and selves.
Hold it!
I am not denying that is how an F pluralizes, but when it's an acronym,
No, it's MILFs. Anyway.
No, that's true. It's an acronym, therefore it's
That's
MILF.
what I was saying.
MILF-S.
Yes, but it's funny, you guys.
You know what? Fuck your joke.
Funny.
Levi, if you give me something
joke.
that the
Can
V
we-
stands for,
can
I
we
will
have-
accept this.
Can we have the
Like
funny
Mr.
joke?
Graydon told you to do, you mean? No
That's it,
jokes
yeah.
allowed.
Who else, eh? So me thought
Never.
it was popping over from now after all these years. But what had done the job for us? After all them years. Hey, Ash?
Interesting.
Oh.
Thought they fucking know him. They know him personally. I wonder if he grew up like.
Let me
If
stop
all
you there,
this
Mr.
posh
Skulkin.
shit is a
Affront.
farce. Yeah.
After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours?
We're sociable kind of baddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's in old China. Sure, let's say Graydon's in old China.
Look at him lifting up his cheeks.
This dude's gonna fly away.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin?
Oh, China plate, mate. Right.
Yeah, mate, trying to play.
Mhm.
Eh? Hey? What?
No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What?
Gotta be more specific, bruv.
Me. When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a real laugh together way back when. Together? With Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look up now his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when we was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us. Is that so? But he was always leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads.
Blimey, that's the truth. Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? Oh, you fuckers.
Oh my
I was gonna say, I
Right.
wonder if this man's
There you
name
know his old
is Milverton.
Ashley Milverton.
Yeah, buddy.
I love these exposition machines dropping shit by accident.
These two are great.
That was a corker, eh? Corker.
Save it until after the trial.
God,
Your
you
reminiscing has no
stupid
place
fuck.
in this courtroom.
God damn it,
Zeke
Zeke.
has an insight of 0.
He crit failed that insight check.
Yeah,
Sure
he did.
did.
And neither does your fruit.
Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering.
Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong.
Vogue.
Nevertheless, the court was not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane.
No.
Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
I have a question. I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Add it.
Add it to the testimony.
Yes.
My lord.
Yes, counsel.
The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case.
Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Paused on just Bree.
Say no more.
Say no more.
A skulker's
skulkin's
never
never
skulking.
skulking. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run. Go, them were the days. Go, them were the days. Fucking god.
Gore.
Go, them were the days. Cause like a lot of like Cockney accents have like a looser mouth posture, and it ends
Yeah.
up my tongue. I get all tripped up in it.
Right. Yes, you know what, Levi? I'll give it to you. Milves. Congratulations.
Oh god, what did he say? You could have said enthusiastically instead of
Oh.
ecstatically.
Thank you. I was trying. I first I wrote excitedly, and I was like, that's not the one though.
Enthusiastically.
Enthusiastically, yeah.
Erotically could work there as well.
Oh, you're right.
Miles has got you. He knows all the E words.
Everyone.
Every single E word. E.
Objection.
Ah, beans.
Oh, that's surprising. I thought that
Damn it,
was
you
a
say.
slam dunk.
No.
Get fucked.
Alright. I'll fucking press him on it, feeling, yes. Fuck you.
Hold it.
I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but... what exactly was that? Some kind of business? No. Delete your comment, Levi. I'm gonna unmod you.
No. Okay, what makes that funny is it's surprisingly. Like that, it'd be really weird if it wasn't surprisingly.
I think I can delete my mess.
I just like to vor erotically. Surprisingly.
Right, like that makes it like 10 times funnier. I didn't say the line
I
at
know,
all.
I was
Something
trying
about
to,
a scheme.
trying to click outside the game, and it decided I clicked
Fan
in
Levi.
the game. Okay, I'm gonna have to click back into the game, and it's gonna advance the dialogue. Don't freak out. Okay.
Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really.
Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I would like to know more about the name. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what? So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved?
Yeah, that's it.
Milverton and
How many
Skokin
apples
Milk
and
Run.
pears do they have?
Was it? Infinite. Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from?
Oh, right. I thought kind of a Enough of this. Work that one out. That is... Hold it. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this?
Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because well... If it weren't the happiest of homes it came from. It weren't the happiest of homes that he came from.
Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much his wife walked out on him.
She took the name Graydon then, see?
Well, Ash will always be Milverton to us. Milverton? So that used to be your surname, did it?
Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born.
I knew it! Mason's your dad.
Yeah, nice call.
Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves,
You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon.
Ah,
Well, it would appear that Mr. Sculpin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then? Is that correct?
very well. Yes.
So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things, and could turn out to be extremely important. Ashley Graydon's personal profile has been updated in the court record.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
All of a sudden, we seem to be up in our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage.
Explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Winterbanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded.
No, but it was his dad.
His dad.
His dad. No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
If only. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers.
Those two brothers.
Those two brothers. So now I present here. Oh, where did it go? I am a fool. This one. Yes.
Objection!
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court?
Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me.
Oh, is Keynes' AG Ashley Graydon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I couldn't remember what the letters were,
Right, fair enough.
and I just saw it flash, and I was like, "Ow, oh." No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name.
I wish they played them Pursuit music. Here.
Explain yourself, please, counsel.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with McGilded.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton.
Milverton? Do you mean to say? Saints alive.
Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father?
I don't.
As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records.
Gah.
The truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it onto McGilded in collaboration with your father.
Yeah.
Hella shot. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth.
The truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded.
Bite into this music box, you mean, Counsel?
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon
Kill
concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information. As
I think
presumably
McGilded still killed him.
a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
No, I mean after, in the fire.
Oh, Ashley killed McGilded.
Yeah.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end.
Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learnt of the situation, you appeared at Winterbanks 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there.
But that attempt failed.
One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc.
Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
Eh? Huh? Eh?
We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Winterbank was killed, the intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone. The music box.
It's rather ingeniously demonstrated for using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed.
So, the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? Good night, Izzy.
Night.
The answer is
Night.
obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
His bullet
He's
wound
bleeding.
is open.
Nice.
He's
Yes.
touched it too much. He just keeps
Waving,
poking
he's
it.
waving his arms around.
Too theatrical.
Sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket.
What? Ah!
2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime at Winterbank's pawnbrokery. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? This is why you don't wear white when you got blood to hide. It's true.
He's got you now, me old China.
Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Yeah. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common back slum thieves.
Rip.
Ouch.
Fine. I admit it. I was there in Winterbanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded.
Oh.
Ow.
As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort.
He's not going down without a fight. Not until they can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact.
Which is?
Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Winterbank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm.
Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Winterbank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder.
Goodness.
That's right, Mr. Graydon.
Gah.
Go on, pull out your gun.
The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank that night is you.
Hold it!
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide that fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment.
You killed him!
Yeah, we're saying you killed him.
No, he's gonna say that
I know.
Winterbank shot him,
Right.
or the Skulkins shot him.
Let's just
We'll
see.
see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he's gonna say.
We'll see.
Something. He's gonna say bullshit.
It's something absolute bullshit. Oh yeah. This makes me a key witness in this case. And I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client.
You're such
Stop
a
choking children.
dumbass.
nose.
What?
Are you suggesting...
This man's grasping at straws.
Sir, you have perjured so much in this court.
So much perjury.
I saw it all. I saw the very moment the pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
It's not even possible. What gun did she use?
Mine.
What?
Look how much his back is curved.
Ryunosuke, why are you accepting this as truth?
He can really throw it back.
Order, order, order. Order, order, order. Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
He is acting like Frank saw it.
Mr. Graydon,
Yes.
Can we bypass this whole thing with Zeke's coming out and saying, with what gun?
please. I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer.
Oh, I understand fully.
He's backed into a corner. This is his
Oh,
only
yeah.
option.
He's a fucking wild animal.
Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more.
He's gone feral.
You will explain to the court precisely what you saw the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure.
Such disaster.
This has got to be like a slam dunk of a testimony to deal with, right? Like
It's
not-
gotta be.
they're not
God, I
gonna
hope
make this
so.
hard.
Please, no.
While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was near the entrance of the shop. Still near the entrance of the shop. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man before he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in the black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl.
Through the peephole.
Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape.
Oh my fucking
You
God.
stupid fucker.
Jesus
Good God.
Christ.
There we go.
This gun? The gun she had in her hand? This one?
Good gracious. This is quite extraordinary testimony.
It's...
This is testimony.
this is quite testimony.
This is... I expected to testify, you certainly did. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger.
Dude, also that gun had one bullet in it. Everybody knows this.
Was the people big enough to fit a gun?
Yes? Yeah, it was like one of those, like, lifty eye hole things. But also, she was clearly holding a gun in the room. Oh, man.
It wasn't my
Oh, boy.
intention to testify in this way.
Blood all over her, photographic evidence where she's clean.
I mean, she's not, though. We proved that that coat does have
That-
blood on it.
Coat has Mason's blood all over it.
Yes, but it is blood, and they don't accept our science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit.
Oh, but you super did.
So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation.
I really want him to accidentally smack the fries out of Gregson's hands with that move one of these times.
I just want Iris to shoot the blood.
The blood on his
Stuff.
arm.
Yeah. I just want her to take out her little powder gun and shoot this man's arm wound. And for it to turn bright green. I just want it. There's no reason for her to do that, but it would be fun. The truth.
Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes. Well, sorry about that.
Gregson?
Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused.
With what gun?
As I said, she was showered in his blood.
You say the blood spattered over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point?
Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time.
Really? If the coats could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here.
Such an investigation is entirely possible.
Oh,
my
now
lord.
you want to use my fancy bullshit?
Oh, now our science is okay?
Now now you can use our science, but before it doesn't matter? What?
Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
I'm gonna break your
It's the same shit.
face.
There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work! His ideas are all sound!
Not all of them.
Ideas are no use to us here. Whose side are you on? In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand.
I don't feel pretty good about ours, gotta say.
I have a theory that you're an ass. Let's prove it real quick.
Yeah, we got a peanut gallery here.
In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. Reagent? Reagent? It's
Reagent.
reagent used. With your lordship's permission. We could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes. This doesn't look good, Runo.
Yeah, because all they're gonna see is, yeah, it's got blood on it. You know whose blood it
And
is?
that's different
Fucking
blood.
Mason's,
Yeah.
asshole. Why not?
Well, we know, don't we? That there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat.
Shit.
They tested with their chemicals.
Oh. Help! You're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday.
Good thing we weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Just full of blood.
Also, this jacket already looks like that now, right?
Okay, but we could definitely say, okay, she hasn't changed her shirt. She was arrested. The
Right.
blood would be there too.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
But that's not Mr. Winterbank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood from when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord,
But
the
he knows
defense
it's covered in blood.
objects to the test proposed by the prosecution.
Overruled. Lord Van Zakes, make it so at once.
With pleasure, my lord.
And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be...
Counsel!
Yes, my lord.
Your cross-examination.
Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. How much of this trial do we think we have left?
I feel like maybe this message is like gonna be important in the next
Next game.
next game, right?
Mm-hmm,
Or is it going to like be stated what it's saying? Is Sherlock's gonna show up, right? And be like, hey,
I think we've got not much time left in the case, but a whole lot of wrap up.
yeah, maybe we should.
Okay.
It is, yeah. We are reaching the end of the. Just to be safe, you know. Yeah, we know how these things wrap up and take forever on that too.
True. I just don't
Like
know
this
if
may be
we're
the last testimony.
I just
but
don't know
oh
if I
boy,
can
there's a lot of
stream
unraveling.
next week. I don't know what time I'm gonna be
Oh,
home.
no.
I'm going on vacation. I'm leaving on Sunday. I'm coming back on Thursday. I don't know.
God. Okay.
I don't know if I will be back in time. If we do, it'll be later, which could, if we can even just do like 3 hours, that should be enough time for sure.
Hopefully.
We could do the end and the wrap up, and maybe
don't push yourself.
not start the next case, but like we might have enough time to just like finish this case. So, not gonna guarantee that we are going to be able to stream next Thursday, but definitely not streaming on Sunday, definitely not streaming on Tuesday, maybe streaming on Thursday. That's the cliffhanger. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and all of our terrible accents. I'm having a fun time sounding like a fool, so I don't care that it's bad. In any case, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.